Hello, welcome to this tutorial. How to solve a Skewb using the Oz method. So I use this method for solving Skewb and I'm currently averaging around 6 with it. But this will be a beginner tutorial on how to solve it. And with a bit of practice, you can probably average around 10 using this method. Just knowing the beginner method on the beginner way to do it, and a few things that you can pick up really easily along the way that make you a bit quicker. So the thing I really like about this method is generally the Skewb method, like the normal one, it just has you do one algorithm over and over, which I know lots of people don't prefer it just because it's boring or too easy or whatever. This one is not like that. It uses multiple algorithms. If it uses 4 for the beginner method, for the beginner way, and then it uses, I think, a total of 12 for like a more advanced way. So I'll go ahead and scramble this up and get right into it. The method is done in 3 parts, and it is very similar to the CFOP method on 3x3, and I'll explain why in just a bit. Okay, so the 3 parts are the V, F2L, and last layer, or top, so VFT. So how the first step works, the V. You pick 3 corners that are on the same layer. Well, first of all, you hold it like this, to where you have a diamond facing you with 1 corner on the bottom. Then you turn it to where this slice right here is in front. So this is how we're going to hold it. And what this does is it effectively gives us a 3x3. So you have the R, the L, the U, the D, the F, and the B. You will not need to use D or B. The rest you will probably need to use. So you hold it like this, then you're going to look at these 3 lower. So you're going to split your, just for the sake of showing which you're using the 3D corners. So the 3-dimensional corners. No. So that would be this one, and this one. And for the ease of explaining, I'll hold those on top so you can see what I'm doing. Basically, each of these 3 corners has something in common with the 2 next to it. In this case, this one is white, orange, and blue. So what you're going to want to do, the first step, is to get all of those matching, like this. So now white matches, orange matches, blue matches. And then you're going to turn it so that we're holding it with this corner on the bottom, this slice in the middle. And now the next step is you're going to finish the V, which is a lot like F2L. So each of these 3 slots has a different color. In this case, each of our pieces is in a different slot, which is just a bit annoying. So we'll start out by taking this one out, and then we're going to insert this piece into this slot the same way we would if it was an F2L pair on 3x3. So like that. We just ignore the corner. So then the next one is white. We can do that like that. So then you've finished your V. That's why it's called a V, because it looks like a V. And then I always have the open slot in front. And so this is step 2, which is F2L. And basically, we're going to do the exact same thing we did with these ones, but we're going to pair up the corner with the edge before we insert it. So the cases you get on here are the exact same cases you'll get on a 3x3 for F2L, but because there's only 3 sides on a Skewb in this case, you never have to do U2. You can always do U or U prime to get the same effect. So this case right here, I'll just show it, is this case right here. It's done in exactly the same, it's done in exactly the same way. So and now we've completed our D layer. And this just leaves us with last layer. So there's 4 algorithms for last layer. I call them TA, TB, TC, and TD because they're all very similar, and the main one, the one that's the best case to get, is, it looks like this. It looks like this T. So the algorithm for it is just that, which is why I call them Tperms, because this is a T, you know. Okay. So we have none of the cases. Where am I? Oh, yes. We have none of the cases here. So what you're going to want to look for is the top corner is going to match with one of the lower 3 corners. In this case, it matches with this one because red, red, green, green. This doesn't help us in this case because we don't have an arrow. And I'll show you what I mean. Now these two match, but we have an arrow right here. And so basically, there's 12 last layer cases, but you can do this algorithm, which is the same as this right here. So even if you don't get one of the 4 cases that these algorithms cover, you just use that algorithm until you get one. So in this case, we do it once, I didn't get it. We do it twice, I have it. So the way you can recognize it is the top matches with one of the 3 lower corners, like this, and then you have an arrow. And the 4 cases are, you have an arrow in the front pointing to the right, you have an arrow in the front pointing towards the left, you have an arrow in the back pointing towards the left, and you have an arrow in the back pointing towards the right. So this is the TB permutation, because it's the second best one to get, or the second easiest to do, in my opinion. So it's when the arrow points to the right, and the way you hold it to execute the algorithm is you put these in the front, but facing a bit more to the right. Like instead of like this, where they're not actually facing towards the front, you want them facing towards the front. And then for this one, TB, you do a sledgehammer, and then you insert this pair like that. So a bit quicker, looks like that. The second one is, I really should be doing these in order, but this is the next one I got. So this one is a TC. So you have the 2, and then the arrow points to the right. It's in the back, but it points to the right. For this one, you want the 2 matching ones to be in the back, but pointed towards the right. And then you execute the algorithm like this: F, R, U prime, R prime, U, R, U, R prime, F prime. And this is the TC that we had, or TB B that we had earlier. And then the last one, the last two. So this is TD, because it's the hardest to execute, because you have to switch to the left-handed. You have to do left-handed, which can be harder for some people. And it goes, it's the exact same as when the arrow was on this side, but you do it on the left. So sledgehammer, starting on the left, and then reinsert this pair. And then the last one is TA, which is the best, and that is it's this algorithm on 3x3. So R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R, F prime. So, where am I? Oh yeah, here. You hold these in the front a bit towards the right, and then the arrow in the back points towards the left. And then you just do that, and you're finished. And you can have AUF, but you never have to do a U2 for AUF because there's only 3 sides. So it's always just a U or a U prime. Yes, and I'll show just now an example solve using this method. So here's a walkthrough solve using the Oz method, and then after this I'll do a timed solve using it. So we have our first corner, here's the second one, here's the third one. So I see here that these two need to change. This one needs to go this way, this one needs to go this way. So I'm actually going to do this one first, because when I do this one first, this one is now going to match up, and that's one less thing for F12 I have to do. So then white goes here, so I insert that. Now I have my V done, and the last 2 pieces are here. So for this one, I'm going to put it in front, split it up like that, and then insert like that. And here I have the case where the arrow points is in the front pointing to the left, which is on the side with the arrow. You start your sledgehammer on that side, and then insert the last pair. And it's solved. Here is a timed solve. Okay. Let me see what I'm gonna do. Okay, maybe I should scramble it a bit better. That was a last layer skip. Okay, let me try again. It's hard looking through the camera. Yeah, so that's probably a more reasonable time that you'll get when you first learn this method, and well, when you're decent at it. And on that note, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you want to see a more advanced tutorial on this method, like for averaging around 6. Knockups. And with that solved, I'll see y'all in the next video.